Close your eyes, keep your spine erect, focus on the breath. Let the Dhamma talk just sit in the background. You'll hear what you need to hear, but at all times maintain focus on the breath, because that's really what we're trying to cultivate here. In the Dhamma talk today, we'll review the Sutta AN 936, titled Mental Absorption. This sutta is titled as such because it differentiates itself from material absorption. See, material absorption is how we typically live our life, as we all reside in the sensual plane of existence. But in order to understand this sutta, we really have to first establish that there are three different planes of existence. From the bottom, there is the sensual plane, where beings take delight in sensual objects, sight, sound, smells, tastes, tactile sensations. And above this plane is the form plane, or fine material plane, where beings take delight in the feeling of the body from within the body, which includes rapture and tranquility. And yet above this plane is the formless plane, or immaterial plane. In this plane, beings take delight in purely mentality, thoughts, ideas, and then even progressing towards the transcending of perception and non-perception. But when Buddha talks about the development of the first four jhanas, he's talking about the establishing of concentration that is directly related to the form plane. When Buddha talks about the dimension of infinitude of space, infinitude of consciousness, nothingness, neither perception nor non-perception, and the cessation of perception and feeling, is referring to the formless plane. Now in this sutta, Buddha categorically declares that awakening, unbinding, the end of fermentations, is dependent on the first four jhanas and the next three formless jhanas. It is often noted that Buddha would repeatedly tell the monks, bhikkhus, develop concentration, or go do jhana, knowing that their awakening was directly dependent on their jhanic attainments. And he uses a simile of the archer. Says an archer or an archer's apprentice, should he practice his skill, refine it to the point that one day he can fire arrows at will for long distances with great accuracy in succession and pierce large masses. The simile is that you too should develop your concentration in such a way, with such skill. As for the first four jhanas, he first of all refers to the first jhana, where the mind is secluded from sensuality, and with rapture and pleasure and also with directed thought and evaluation, one can remain in the first jhana. And whilst in this first jhana, should one reflect on what Buddha refers to as the five aggregates: form, feeling, perception, consciousness, sankharas, fabrications. Should he reflect on these aggregates as inconstant, unsatisfactory, a disease, out of one's own control, then, in the here and now, that individual will gain awakening. But should they not gain awakening, then, at a later time, through the continued joy and taking delight in the Dhamma, and the complete eradication of the first five fetters, then that individual, upon death, will take residence in a realm named the pure abodes in the form plane, and there they will stay until their final birth, never to return to this world. Buddha then goes on to give an account of the next three jhanas in the formless states, making specific reference to the dimension of infinitude of space, with the requisite condition being withdrawn from form, withdrawn from any restriction or resistance to form, withdrawn from any diversity to form. If one's mind is secluded in that way, and they direct their mind to the infinitude of space, then they may dwell in that attainment. And should they, while in that attainment, contemplate the aggregates as inconstant, unsatisfactory, the disease, poison, an arrow, entirely out of one's own control, then, in the here and now, they too may gain awakening. But if they do not, then at some later point in time, upon which time they eradicate the first five fetters, they too will, upon death, take residence in the pure abodes, never to return to this world. As for the last two jhanas the Buddha references in this sutta, they are to be discussed directly by those that have experienced such states. Those states are said to be highly sublime, peaceful states of existence. But he categorically says that it is only those first seven jhanas that are the requisite for awakening. So how should this affect your breath? You should practice intent on gaining mental absorption, intent on learning how to develop a mind that is secluded from greed, aversion, sloth and torpor, restlessness and anxiety, and uncertainty and doubt. You should develop a mind that is anchored in rapture and pleasure, born of such seclusion. Learn to breathe in such a way, not just in sitting meditation, but at all times during the day.